Jeek and I were made to volunteer by Leo to find their camp and come back with information. It was a far walk from the village. We realized where we first saw the angel was about a day's walk from where they actually reside. We didn't see any angels flying around the skies. It's probably because they are being wary and avoiding that area. Still, you would think a patrol unit or something would at least have flown ahead. Did they really think that we were even and that there's no need to be wary? I guess in the grand scheme of things, killing 2 animals isn't as bad as kidnapping someone's son. Not in this case, however, because those animals are so vital to the community. After about 2 days of walking, we finally began to see something. Marks on trees, tracks on the ground, showing that people have definitely been in this area. We knew we were close and continued without taking a break. In the early hours of the morning, covered by darkness, we came up to their village. It was a bit different from ours, in which they have homes built on the tall trees as well. Jeek and I slowly crept into their settlement and looked around to get a layout. It was a ghost town and everyone was gone, except for a few patrols going around holding torches. We weren't worried as much as the one in the sky, as it would be hard to see us in this darkness. However, the person on the ground we avoided. We explored a good amount of the village and noticed, like us, they had similar animals: a cow, sheep, chicken, and a goat. There was no dog like the one in our village. Once we got all we wanted, we quickly fled. First slowly, then once we felt as if we were a good distance away, we began to run frantically. As if they were right on our tail, we must have run for an hour straight before finally slowing down and resting. After that, we began our walk back to the village, really only sleeping when our bodies forced us. I think both Jeek and I felt anxiety through our bodies and just wanted to get back to something familiar. Soon we were back at the village. We arrived pretty late at night and just went to our homes and passed out. I was woken up to Tiara's yelling, "Oh, look who dragged himself in last night. I hope you did more than just take a 2-day walk, or this might be your last day." I could barely open my eyes without being berated. Don't worry, Jeek and I found their village and looked around as well. Grunt chimed in. "A coward like you took that risk. Leo must have really scared you, huh?" He walked away laughing. "I don't need this right now. Since I'm up, I'm going to go to Leo and speak to him." Grab Jeek on your way there. No reason for him to be sleeping. He should have gotten enough sleep over those past couple weeks of not patrolling properly. "I will, Tiara." "Oh yeah, did the baby cause any problems while I was gone?" "This one, she's as sweet as can be. In fact, it's a little scary how calm this baby is." "That's good. I wasn't sure how long I could be away from her, but it seems distance doesn't matter." "You're still on about that. I only slightly believe you about the being ripping out a rib and creating a baby. It takes a lot of nighttime sweating to make one, if I remember correctly." "Ha ha ha." "I'm glad you find it amusing, Tiara. Well, I'm leaving now, I'll be back." I went and grabbed Jeek, who was already up. The door flew open after just one knock, as if he had been waiting for me to show up this entire time. Then we went over to Leo's home and explained everything about the village. How long it takes to get there, how many people patrolled, the animals that they had that were similar to ours. Leo made the decision then that we would go and take their animals to replace ours. Everyone gathered their things. We put on thicker clothes than usual to try and protect ourselves. We know that they use bow and arrows. We armed ourselves with some bows and the new weapon to drag the angels out of the sky. We hope it's a quick operation. We go in, get the animals and run. I felt confident because while I haven't been in this village long, I became familiar with them a bit. Though the people here are similar to human, they are larger and their brute strength is equal to Olympians. Even children are stronger than me, to be honest. They are tough, and I'm sure even in a tough fight, they would come out victorious. The angels are humanoid as well, but except for their wings, they seem fragile. At least that is what I could tell from Grunt and Leo kidnapping the one. Maybe because we already knew the way, we arrived at the camp fast. There was still some light, so we camped out and waited till we could no longer see in front of us without a torch. We all knew the assignment. If there were any patrols alerted, we would spread out and start fires to distract them. I just hope all goes smoothly. Just like lightning strikes, we hit our target and be gone just as fast. Leo and Grunt led the way. We almost got caught by one of the patrols, but before he could signal, Grunt came from behind and choked the angel until he passed out. then sat him in a dark corner where he wouldn't be found until the morning. We arrived quickly to their animal pen, and Leo picked up the cow, tossing it over his shoulder, and Jeek wrangled in the chicken. As they were taking care of the animals, I noticed something sitting on a table in the animal pen. There were the fruits that I had when I was in that garden originally. I quickly took some and put it in my bag. Leo called to me to leave, and we began to run out of the village. It was then that the flying patrol spotted us, yelling. He began to give chase and loaded up his arrow, firing 2 shots at us as we ran into the forest. He still gave chase anyway. That was when Grunt took out his bowler and tossed it at the angel. The rocks at the end locked together on the angel's legs, and Grunt, with all his might, pulled the angel down. He quickly descended to the ground, crashing into multiple trees, breaking branches on his way down. By the time he hit the ground, he was already out cold. Leo told Grunt to bring him as well. Then we made our way back to the village. Once we got back, Grunt already began telling jokes. We got another one eye. I might be better at this than fishing. But Leo was not in the mood. He just gave Grunt a stern look and told him to tie him up and put him where we kept the last one. That's when Leo instructed me, "Al, stay away from this one. If something happens again, I'm not sure I can forgive you this time, regardless of what Tiara's opposing." "Don't worry, Leo. I won't go near him, I promise." "Good. Now let's get rested up quick and get ready for the early morning. They will realize that one of them is missing. The other was knocked out and their animals are gone. Expect a large retaliation. Take tonight and half of tomorrow to get ready. Judging by how fast they are in the air, it should only take a little more than a day for them to get here." We walked back to our homes. I took out a fruit and began to eat it. It's as good as back in that garden. Jeek noticed me. "What's that you have there, Al?" "It's fruit that I took from those angels back there. It was in that same building as the animals. I remember it from back when I was locked up in that garden." "Oh, it must be good. Make sure to let me try some next time." Then me and Grunt went back to our home. "You would eat something sweet like that, little man. Fruits like that will hurt the stomach of a warrior." Grunt told me. I paid no mind to it and gave one to him. He should lighten up from time to time. He just turned up his nose at me and went upstairs. I don't know if he'll eat it, but I'll take it if he doesn't want it. I passed out on the couch. The last few days have been exhausting, and there's even more to come soon. Those angels will not take what we did lightly. That being might even get involved for us messing with them. I hope he does, because I have a bone to pick with him myself. I don't know who he thinks he is to kidnap people from their world and bring them to such a dull place. I now see it's not just me that he has shown animosity to. The next morning, when I went to meet Leo, I didn't have to go far. Him and all the men in the village were in the middle armored up and doing some drills. They were practicing with the bolas to get the angels. A showdown was soon to happen, and they knew it. Leo gave me some armor, but it was too heavy, so I took it apart and wore just the things I found necessary. He then gave me a bow and arrow, telling me to practice. "Make yourself useful," he said. I know I've made a lot of mistakes recently, but his constant disgruntled tone at me was getting on my nerves. I acknowledged that he is right in a sense, and I'm not strong enough to make the rope reach the angels in the sky like Grunt did. Actually, where is Grunt? Usually he would be up. Guess even a meathead like him can get tired and sleep in. Time went by, and I asked Leo if he wanted me to go get Grunt. He said no, to let him rest. We don't know when they will be here, and he wanted Grunt to be in his best condition. That notion didn't last long, however, because suddenly we saw over the horizon an army of angels flying at us. They were still a couple of minutes away. Leo yelled for everyone to get ready. He saw Tiara coming out of one of the homes and told her to wake Grunt and tell him to get here as soon as possible. The angels flew over the village, and all the women and children ran into their homes. They simply hovered over us with Leo and what looked to be the angels' leader just staring at each other in a face-off. I knew nothing good was about to happen. The angels' leader began to speak to Leo. Why do you want this war? You kidnap my son, you take our animals, you kidnap another. Are you people so barbaric?" Leo responded, "Us want war. We didn't want any of this. We didn't want to be in this world eating scraps. It is because of you and your God that we are living like this. You speak nonsense, but you will not speak anymore. Perhaps you won't understand until you truly feel the consequences of your actions." The angel gave a signal, and then they all loaded their bows and fired them down at Leo and the others. Quickly, they started spinning the bola at such a velocity that they blocked a lot of the incoming arrows, some piercing through, hitting them in the arms. Leo yelled, "We are vis brutus," then pulling the arrows out of their bodies and crushing them in one hand. A battle yell that sunk my stomach came out of him, and they began their assault. I stood stunned at the way they fought. Vis brutus kept playing in my head. Is that the name of their species? Are they not just large humans? What is going on? I couldn't believe how things have spun so out of control. Leo and the others throwing the bolas, wrapping them around the legs of the angels, only to pull them down and crush them with overwhelming force. Then the angels, flying around at such speeds, like an eagle closing in on its prey, using arrows and knives to systematically piece apart our people until they fall to the ground. I just wanted to speak to the being. I just wanted answers to my life. Now I'm wrapped in a war, just running around trying to avoid everyone as best as possible. An angel fell next to me and reached out his hand to grab me just for someone to come and stomp his arm, snapping it. Such brutality is something I never seen before. In my world, we hear of war, but is it this barbaric? We use guns and bombs, so we never get too close, but seeing someone's head get smashed right in front of me brought me to my knees. I threw up right over the body. The angels started to disperse, noticing they are at a disadvantage when it comes to force. They began setting fires to people's homes. I see young ones running out of their homes, being snatched by the angels, and then being dropped to the ground. I don't know if they were dead or just severely injured. I see angels being grabbed and their wings being ripped from their back, left screaming in pain on the ground. Please, please, someone just put a stop to this madness. Why is this happening? That's when I noticed the original angel that we kidnapped. The village chief's son, he locked his eyes on me. I began to run away and he started flying towards me. I was panicked with tears in my eyes, pleading for help. Please, Leo, Jeek, Grunt, someone help me. I tripped over my feet and I looked at him. He was right in front of me. He reached out his hand to grab me, and that is when Leo stuck out his arm and grabbed him by the throat. The leader, seeing this, instantly swooped down and grabbed Jeek, putting a knife to this throat. This led to a stalemate, with everyone on their respective side waiting for the signal. Let go of my son, you brute. I can easily snap your son's neck in my hand. You should let go of my people first. From this fight, I can tell your people are strong, but I doubt he can survive a knife pierced through his neck. The two continued to stare each other down. The angel got impatient. Come on, stop this. You people one-sided attacked us for no reason, kidnapping my son. All we have ever done is retaliate against you. Us attacked first. You guys caused the first transgression, bringing us to this world. What do you mean we brought you to this world? Once again, your words make no sense. We know you are the minions of that being you consider a god. You watch over us, you listen to his orders. What are you babbling about? We were brought to this world the same as you from that being. We are the Alai Belai. He saved us from our world, saved us from our persecution. We often was captured for our beauty, our wings, because we were different. Those in our original world treated us as less than, as a trophy to be displayed on the wall. The being saved us, so we sing his praises. However, we are far from being his lackeys. Where did you hear such mendacity? You were brought this world the same as us, by that being. You have no relationship with him. We have as much of a relationship with him as you. We just came over under different circumstance. Leo stood for a moment, staring into space. I could tell how deeply he was thinking about the information he had just received. Al, what do you make of this? Leo, in my world, these things, these angels, they are agents of God in my world. I see. Have you ever personally seen an angel in your world, Al? Or have you ever seen the being in your original world? Well, no, I have never seen them myself. I only heard of them in stories. Their people match what I have heard of them. I see. Leo let go of the angel, who quickly ran over to his father. The angel, then seeing Leo's bewildered face, asked a question. Is there any reason for this battle to continue? Leo just stood in silence. Then the village chief came and walked in the middle of everyone. If you'd allow this old man to speak a bit. You mentioned that you are the leader of the Alai Belai. If you could release our kin as we have yours. The leader released Jeek, and he quickly rushed over to our side. I was still sitting on the ground, scared to move. The old village chief then turned to me. I knew you were a seed of evil. Since you came here, nothing but misfortune has fell upon us. You have caused all this death and destruction, and for what reason? To speak to a being, for your own selfish gain. We showed you nothing but charity, yet you spit in our face, leading us to fight a baseless war from your inaccurate pretense. I would like to be the first to apologize to the Ale Bele for all the trouble our kin has caused. The son then spoke out. Words only mean so much. If you claim that he is the root cause of all this strife, give him up over to us. The village chief then looked over to me. Yes, I see no reason not to. Do you have any objection, Leo? Once again, Leo just stood still, not saying anything. I'll take that as a no. Fine, take him away and do with him what you will. I ran frantically as fast as I could. I don't know where I was going. I saw Tiara's house. I know if I speak to her, she can convince everyone to spare me. After all, Leo and the village chief both value her word greatly. I got to the door with both the Alebele and the Vis Brutus on my trail. I yelled, banging on the door, yelling for Tiara. I going to open the door when it swung open. Tiara stepped out with a look of despair on her face, holding a piece of fruit. Everyone who saw her stopped in their tracks. Leo finally looked over to see a disenchanted Tiara and rushed over to see what happened. He pushed his way through everyone. Walking up to Tiara, before he could say anything, she dropped to her knees. Speaking through her tears, Tiara announced, Leo, Grunt is dead. Afterward, she just cried into his chest. Leo grabbed her by the shoulders, shaking her. What do you mean Grunt is dead? What happened? I went to quickly wake him up, but no matter how much I shook him, he wouldn't budge. I put my ear to his chest and his heart was stopped. What do I do, Leo? Jeek then came up. What's that fruit, Tara? It was next to Grunt. It looked like he took a bite of it. Al, isn't this the fruit that you stole from their village? Did you give it to Grunt? Al, did you poison Grunt? I didn't know what to say. I slowly backed away. All I could keep saying is no, no, no. I didn't kill Grunt. There's no way he died from eating that fruit. Jeek in tears. Al, I believed in you. The Alebele leader stepped up. It seems this man has caused harm to more than just us. He is a devil no matter where he goes. Indeed, he is the one that must die. I quickly pushed past Tiara and ran into the house after they said that. I quickly grabbed the baby and began running into the forest. With both of them giving chase, I don't know where I was going, and I knew what I was doing was in vain. They both could easily catch up to me. All I could do was cry and curse my life. I kept running. They kept gaining on me. I tripped over a branch, falling with the baby next to me. The baby began to cry, and I just laid on the ground, accepting my fate. That's when the angels, no, the Alebele, hovered over me. I watched as they pulled their arrows and fired at me. Interesting enough, all I could do was smile. I guess my time is done. I closed my eyes to embrace it. I kept my eyes closed, but nothing happened. Did they change their minds, but the arrows were already released? Why am I still alive? What a disappointment. I guess I made an error again. I recognized that manner of speaking and opened my eyes to the being standing in front of me. I understand the willingness to let yourself die, but must a child die as well? I guess there's no helping you. Perhaps we must start anew.